Hey everyone, how are you? Today we are just getting started with, well, I'm actually finishing up some of the work that I had done yesterday uh, with this email verification or customer verification system that I was working on. So if you tuned into that video, if you watched it, some things that I had done and some things that I've changed so far. So let's just start with where we're at right now. I do have an error that we got to kind of play around with later in the stream to fix, but trying to think where I left off with this yesterday. I think where I left off with this was that I had kind of gotten all this stuff to work with the checking the activation, whether or not the user is activated, and whether or not the repository and the slug match. So like if the slug matches the token that you've given it and all that stuff. And then the last thing I think I needed to do from yesterday was I needed to make sure that the member didn't have a password or something like that. I think that's where I left off. I swapped around a few things in here, so just to kind of show you what I ended up with from where I was yesterday and where we are today. I'm hoping also that the screen size is big enough and everybody can see this. I think it's large enough now. It looks good on my screen. Actually, it looks gigantic, which with my old ass eyes is all of a sudden like really good size. So that kind of sucks. Anywho. Yeah. Oh, and the other thing I did was I added the password and confirm password fields to the actual page. So I think yesterday I just had this give us your email address thing, and now I'm just setting this all here. My thinking originally was that, oh, we'll have like 2 pages. So it's like kind of 2 steps. You enter your username or you enter your email address. We verify that that's good. And if you don't have a password, then we force you to set it. But my thinking on that was originally because I wanted to do what? What the hell was I trying to do with this? I was originally thinking that all of this was going to kind of be shared code between like the verification process, or all the verification code was going to be shared. Because you could theoretically create so you can have an account and you can have multiple workspaces under it. So I was like, well, whenever you go and create a workspace, we'll fire the same basic process. And I've decided that that's just not necessary. So this code is really for the very first workspace of a brand new customer. We need to verify your email address. We need to verify that you're human, that you paid, and all of that stuff. But once you've created an account, you're paying for it already. So there's a lot less stuff I need to verify on the front end, including the password. So you've already gotten in there. So if you got in there and you actually created a new thing, there's no reason to do any verification at that point. So there's going to be, obviously, you go into your site somewhere and you're like, okay, create new workspace. You click the button and then you give it a name, and we just check the slug to make sure that it actually exists or it doesn't exist in our system. And that's it. And then we just say, okay, it should be ready in a minute or 2. And then that's it. And then you'll get an email saying, hey, you created a new thing. But it'll already be verified. You don't need to activate it. You're not going to need to do any of that stuff because we already have verified that you exist. We know you're a human being. So once I kind of said that in my head, I said, okay, well then screw it. Then there's a whole bunch of shit I don't need to do. Like that this code itself, the processing of the validate workspace stuff, doesn't care about it anymore. Like all of a sudden this just becomes kind of like a singular method and class for this one piece of the process, like this one step. So, all right, that makes life a lot easier. So now I don't need to think about this from the terms of like having multiple like people connecting to this, maybe making more of a service-y type thing. Screw it. I can just sit here and say, all right, you know what we're going to do? We're going to validate that the slug and token exist. We're going to check to make sure that your token hasn't expired. Then we're going to find the owner, that you are the actual owner of this thing, and then we're going to just make sure we're going to add your password. So we're going to update your member with the correct password, and then we're going to mark the entire workspace as verified. And that's it. And then otherwise it'll just kind of throw some error stuff in here. So I haven't obviously done the error work yet. That's something we'll do today. I'm trying to think if there's anything else in here that I need to showcase. No, I think that's everything for the moment in time. So the only thing I'm doing now is I'm actually working on this member repository update state here. So all I want to do now is update the fact that my owner, so the way that the code works is that I have this is going to return this match is going to return. Let's go into that. That is what? No, that is, where am I? Okay, so that's workspace repository. So I do everything in repositories, but I kind of break it apart a little bit. So this code is actually right inside of here. So get owner with email. This is the reason why I like using the repository pattern as opposed to just using query scopes. Query scopes mean that you have to kind of like, you do like the where clause, and that's nice, but then you're kind of like, you're building all of this type of stuff inside of your, either inside of your class or inside of your like member class itself, or you're putting this in the controller. I don't personally like doing that in the controller. No, I understand if some people do, so I don't have a preference. It's like there's no like, holy war on my side. I don't care what you do. I'm just trying to show you how I do this. So I just like to have a single function that says get this thing with this and then do the whatever. So I usually have kind of long names. So in this case, I'm getting the owner with an email address. So in order to get the owner, I should probably show you how my tables are set up. I think I might have shown this yesterday, but I don't remember anymore because today is the longest day of the year. At least in America it is. So, okay. Members, here's my member, and you see that I have a password, a nulled password at this point, and I have the workspaces. So basically you can have you can have any number of workspaces you want, but you and any number of members are just users. So you can have any number of those things, and any member can be a member of any workspace, or all workspaces, or none, or just a subset of them. So that's a belongs to many type of relationship. So I have to have a member workspace like lookup table, pivot table here. And the only other thing I've added on here is that each one of these things, the user can actually have a different role. So this is where my roles and permission actually happen. So in this case, it's saying owner, this guy is the owner, which this is my account in here. So yes, I can be the owner of whatever the workspace is. And this is my, just so you can see my ID. Cool. So we got that going on here. So now basically what I do in the function itself is I just say, okay, get all the let's get the model that has the members with the pivot table that has, I'm looking for the role. I want not just the pivot table. I need the role column out of that. So that's what this thing does. And I'm saying where pivot table has a column role with the specific value of owner, whatever that happens to be. And then also find them where this has an email address. And if you can't find that, first or allows you to just say, instead of saying first or fail, which always throws a model not found exception, I wanted to create my own exception. So there's a couple of these things that need to have their own exception. So in this case, it's not an owner exception. And then that allows me to then kind of have this nice try catch block here where I can say, okay, if we can't find, if we can't find this owner right here, then we can kind of catch either the invalid activation token or the not an owner exception and throw, and do something based on that. The thing I usually am going to want to do in here, actually, I want to do the same thing in here, regardless of whether it's an invalid activation token or they're not an owner, and that's invalidate the token and send another email to the owner. So if you put in the wrong email address, let's say, it's going to invalidate you and say you're not the right person. It probably is just a simple mistake. I think 99% of the time it's going to just be a stupid mistake on the person's, they typoed their email address or they forgot which email address they were using, which is fine. But for that 1% chance that it's actually something slightly nefarious going on, I want to make sure that I just take the token that I already have in the database, delete it, delete the user, or not the user, just delete the token and just remake that token. So remake the activation token and then resend an email out to the owner. And that's really whether or not the token's invalid or the user doesn't happen to be the owner. And that's the only other thing I'm doing here. That's what this thing is doing. I don't want to just find out that you're a member in this thing. I need to make sure that you are the owner, and the owner is the one who's doing this stuff, whatever the activation process here. So as long as the owner is doing it, or an owner, because you can have 10 owners if you wanted, then we can mark this as verified, and then we can go on. All right. So now I was having a weird error here, and I want to get into that real quick. So this is just one of my test cases here that I was having. That we're ready to. This is the correct token. It gets to the verification page, and I'm ready to verify based on my email address, and I've entered in a password in here. So I've also set up a validate workspace request thing where I'm grabbing the username and password. I'm checking to make sure that the password is confirmed and has a confirmed field in it. So as long as those are good, we then move on through all this stuff. So I'm going to refresh this page because I have no idea where I'm at with it. Enter my information again. Password 123. Password 123. My very super secure password. Nope, don't save. And yeah, this was the error that I was getting, which I thought was weird. Oh, crap. Let's do that again. All right. So yeah, I just saw this a minute ago before, so I haven't had a chance to even debug it really or see where it's going on. Invalid date time format. Truncated incorrect double. Okay, so it's getting the password members dot updated at 11:20. That's a perfectly valid date time, isn't it? Huh. Because the date time gets updated by Laravel by default, so I don't have to do anything with that. So I don't think I wrote any code to do that, but let's check out the member real quick. Date time, date time, date time. Let me double check my workspace. Like maybe I did something updated at. These are all date timestamps. So that's how you do a date time, and that's how you cast it correctly. I'm not doing anything in here to make that special to work. So let me check out the database itself, and maybe I farked up how I did that. This is member, right? So create member. Maybe I didn't save it as a date time. Timestamps. Nope, timestamps should be. Let's look at this again. All right, go back to members. Let's look at the structure. And that's the same as the workspaces, right? Or did I? Activation at is date time. I'm not worried about that. Oh, wait. Timestamp. That is, these are timestamps, and I sent it a date time. So it's not coming in as a timestamp. It's actually coming in as a date time, which I think that's the problem. Okay. But it's a really weird issue. Yeah, it should be fine as a timestamp. But if not, okay, so oops, I can't spell. Cast timestamp. Maybe something changed in Laravel 8 and I didn't even realize it. Because no, let me just look at attribute cat. Off to the docs. Timestamp. Eloquent, timestamp. Attribute casting, let's see. Decimal digit. Date, time, and timestamp. Okay, let's make it a timestamp just because. Let's see what that does. I might have just had that wrong and not even realized it. Not even realized there was an issue. The weird part is, why didn't it ever occur to me before? I can't spell. Count PASSWORD 123. My super secure password 123. Date members, set password, invalid date time format. Okay, wait, is it date time or is it timestamp? That is a funny one. Several reasons. Why is it so what am I doing here that is causing that to be an issue? I guess I can just, what if I just pass it carbon now? Is there like a timestamp? Is that a thing? Wait, it's just timestamp. That's not a thing. Let's see what happens there. Not be called statically. Oh, for freak's sakes. Okay. I shouldn't even have to do this. So let's, before I even go down that silly rabbit hole, there's no reason for me to do that. So there's something clearly going on here that I need to figure out. So where do I go to figure that out? Let's see. All right, well, okay, let's look at the update function real quick. I don't think it's the hash make that's the issue. It's, I guess, just an issue inside of update. And the way the update function works is it grabs the owner, or grabs the model, and then just says this update in the case that there's only one item passed to it, which in this case there should be only one array item passed to it. But let's look at that model factory. If count is this, so it should be going here, and this is where it should be failing, essentially. Double check that. Nope. Save. Okay, so it makes it in there, and that's where I want it to be. Gets my password. Oops. Put these back to datetime. I don't think that's an issue. I think I'm just doing something ridiculous in here that I'm not seeing. This model update. Oh. No, that shouldn't be the problem. Right, because 0, if I do an update of 0, that should be... Like, this is super brittle, I know that, but Yeah, that's just the array. Okay, so unless the update is not supposed to be an array. Collections, orm. Should be an array. Updates. Yeah, that's totally fine to be that. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, there's no need to manually set it. Okay, I'm not manually setting it. That's fine. Oh, I think... What model am I getting here? I have a feeling that's what the... casts? Yeah, no, where's my attribute? There they are. Yeah, okay, so this is totally... my attributes, so you can see that it's grabbed the... Yeah, it's doing everything off. That shouldn't be an issue, though. But okay, so it's got the correct model. All right, just for giggles, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, I want to see. No update. So I know that this is gonna be an array here, so I can say map. Oh, I need both. I need I think it's that v and key. I think that's the right order for these things. Update, not updates. I can just die and dump just to check this out. Nope, wrong way. I would love for some sort of universal always key value or something to be set somewhere in the world. Oh, no, it was right. Son of a... I put him backwards here. All right, so that's right. Yeah, value and key. All right, so now I can just say this model key is equal to value. I'll just do an each over this because the model's already... I don't need to like... That should work. That should be fine. Now, if I go out here, die and dump this model. Just want to see. Verify. There we go. We got the password in there, and oh, wait a minute. This is member. No, okay, they're there. All right. Okay, so that looks... Now, if I just said right here... Incorrect. Incorrect double. Incorrect double. Invalid datetime format. Truncated incorrect double value. Wait. BAD. Wait a minute. Wait. I'm reading this wrong. Let me dump this again. Attributes. Ooh, wait a minute there. That is not what I expected to see. Now that I'm... What did I do? Okay. Let's go look up real quick. Grab the... members. Okay. That, I think I figured out the issue. I don't know if that's the issue, but that's definitely an issue. Let me this real quick. Spaces. Incrementing false. I'm not even casting it there. That's gonna be a problem in that. This is a minute too. Shouldn't be. Workspace ID string UUID. So that's where I'm setting my workspace ID. Grabbing that. Let's go look at the member. When you create, we create a new UUID. So I just do this is just the static observer functions basically. Whenever you create a new member, it creates the member, it sets the member ID for you, so that way you don't have to try to remember that you got to like set the UUID. So it just generates that for you. You don't have to worry about it. And also whenever you create a new member ID, it also creates a new member. It also generates a token for you. That's the line I'm looking at here. But the thing that is weird that I just noticed that I don't fully understand yet why it's doing this. This is casting, or not casting, this is giving me an ID of 1 on the workspace member. So this is where I think the error is coming from. I don't even know how the hell it's getting that. That is freaking weird. Where is that thing coming from? All right. I think I need this to cast it as a string correctly, but it's also not, this is not the issue. incrementing is false. That should now say there's no, now you have to work on the IDs yourself. It's not going to be an auto incrementing ID. We go into the table. I can clearly see here that that's my user ID. So is something going on when I actually fetch the table? Oh, that is interesting. If I'm okay, hold on a minute now. I don't think I was expecting that. Bam, there's your one. Shit. Okay, so I think I might have to change this table because that I think is the issue. What is that? Okay, let me talk this through because it's doing something that I think that I wasn't expecting. If I'm reading this right. So this is member, right? No, so I need workspaces. Workspace. Let me get rid of this. I just want that one class, but it's bringing in everything. So I think the issue happens to be in here, in this piece of code. Though I'm not 100% sure why. So this belongs to many. Is returning to me. This function is used inside of the model factory. Go to that. It's huge now. Now I need more space. Okay, so here's the member. Let's see. So in the member repository, this is where I do stuff. So we have member model factory. So this is grabbing that's where I do that stuff. For model. Where are you? So this is working. This part works fine. Attach as member, gives them a role, gives them the separate roles. This is attach as, and this. So this is doing the actual the attaching to the pivot table correctly. And in the model factory. Yep, save that. Pop this over to the side because I'm going to need that there for a minute. Attached to workspace, that's fine. That stuff seems to be okay. So it's member repository, the update. I don't need the Vue.js stuff up. Okay, this is weird stuff. Owner update. Owner update comes here. And then when it goes to save, it's the issue of, I think, how I'm getting this repository. So this is where I actually get the repository. So I'm grabbing it from the, basically I'm kind of filtering from the matching workspace. So you grab the workspace and then you're saying, okay, hey, now I need you to query all of the, find the user off of the, who happen to already have this, be in this workspace. So, and then I'm getting the owners based on that. That should just be returning a simple owner or a simple user. But because I want the role in there, it's also grabbing for me the role off the pivot table. And it's somehow also, I have to look at that query. I don't think this will give, oh, maybe I can fire the queries this way. Let's see. No, it's just the lookup. Get owner with email. Request get. Workspace repository. Okay, so this is where, see, this is where the magic happens. What if I just don't do that for right now? Let's see what happens if I do public. So public function get all, turn this model members all. I think that's how you do it. What? Not compatible. Oh. Members all? I think that's how you do it. Once you start getting into like these relationships, I freaking never remember what the order is of those things. All right, so now let's just dive down. Well, I guess we can just comment that out and get all. It's in workspace repository, right? And I called it get all. What in the hell am I doing? Oh, I already have a function called get all, so just all the users. All freaking A, just give me them all. I don't care right now. Oops. If I could type, it would be awesome. All right, let's try that now. See where this goes. Can't find squat. Okay, that is probably me more than anything. Members, it's this way, right? Yeah, that's how you actually do the query. All members with pivot. I guess I got to do something with the. What happens if I just do this all, or just members? I never remember what this information is supposed to actually spit back to you. But I probably have to say with pivot or something in here, right? Like with pivot. I don't fucking know. Take that off for a moment and then just see what the hell this is going to return me back when I do it like that. All right, so we get a belongs to many relationship in here. All right, so pivot columns where role is that, yada yada. Okay, so if I were to now say members What is that going to give me back? Oh, fudge. Really? Oh. Nothing. All right. Members. Yeah. So. Oh, that returns nothing too. All right. So because now I just don't freaking remember. How do you do updates with relationships? How do you get this many to many? Not polymorphic. Just I think it just belongs to many. Many to many. Okay, so that's how you get the pivot data off that. So roles as roles. So if I were to say members, oh, the other problem is that I'm not passing in a model. That would be probably part of the issue here too. So let's just say workspace repository. Model. Oh, what am I doing here? Matching workspace. There we go. Matching workspace. And now we're just going to call it. So now I have the workspace correctly in there, and now we should see something. May not be the right data, but it will still be some sort of data. All right, there we go. That's my user. One user. There's only one user in here. Attributes. That's the correct ID. Now I think if I look at relations, there's the pivot. That's the correct pivot data with the attribute. So, okay, and there's the role data right there. Okay. So that looks fine. Select workspace from activation token. Yeah, okay. So far so good. That data looks correct. This where pivot thing is what I think janks up everything. Let's see. Members. What happens when I just do where pivot? Where pivot, role, right here. So now I'll just bring back any and all users that happen to have that. We'll just say first. I'll just get the one guy. There's only one. So this should theoretically bring back my one member. That's me. Okay. ID is still the same. Okay. Yeah, everything there's looking good. Let's bring in this and see if that's it's literally the same. The only thing I'm doing is I'm passing in, but that should have been passed in. Maybe it wasn't. Could that be the issue? I hate it when it's silly things like that. So am I not passing in the, so I think right now this model is not using the correct model. I think that's the issue. Let's just do this. That should have worked, but owner. Oh, that's, I don't know what the hell that all is there. Get owner with email. Matching workspace. Let's see what that returns. Okay, we got our user, 14 attributes, ID of fucking 1. The role. Okay. Model, model. Members, members. Where pivot, where email. That doesn't make any sense. The first or is screwing me up. I guess I don't understand what first or does. Because unless I'm thinking about this incorrectly, which is totally possible, first or is supposed to just return the first item or execute what's in the query or in the closure. So why would anything have been different? Like, it literally should have just thrown I love it when code makes no sense. It's nothing more humbling than writing something and be like, this should be fine. And be like, no, this one line that you should totally, completely understand. That's where the issue is. Everything else is okay. What in the holy shit is going on with that one line? All right, well, that kind of is stupid if that's really the issue, but that seems to be the problem there. Now, because, all right, so now I have the owner. I don't even think it was this. The query function here really just is a pass-through to bring back, like, to set the model to this thing. So it's just kind of a nice, it's just a little bit of a cleaner way of kind of writing that code. So yeah, I should be able to just say this right there, and then say this model. Maybe that's the issue too. That could, maybe it's not passing the data. That would make more sense. That is the thing that's screwing me up. Where pivot I've made, I mean, this is, okay, I want to go back to this file. I know all that stuff has changed, but let's just look at this again and make sure that I haven't done anything. I want to just make sure that like there was nothing else that I changed in here. I didn't save it out. Okay. I'm going to copy this function. Get owner with email. So all that works. I want to go back to what I had a minute ago. If this just now works, I'm going to, oops. If this just now works, I'm going to go, well, I plan on drinking a bunch of wine later, so I'll just drink more wine. Okay, good. No, this doesn't work. But how this isn't working, I have no fucking idea. So first or is doing something. All right, let's go look at that real quick. Because I'm first or. So there's all these other like first or create, first or new, first or. Yeah, see, it's sometimes you wish to retrieve the first result of a query or perform some other action if no other action results are found. So if no results are found, the first or method will return the first result that is found, or if no results are found, execute the given callback. The result of the callback will be considered the result of the results of the callback will be considered the result of the first or method. The results of the callback will be considered the result of the first or method. Okay. All right, so that's I'm gonna have to play with this. I'm not 100% sure why that's not exactly where, like, so it should just return. It's gonna execute. So yeah, I mean, all I wanted to do is first find something or throw. But in this case, it's doing something more interesting, I guess. So, and then let me double check that I'm not having a stroke here. All that should change when I paste this in is the, oh, I pasted in the whole damn thing. V. Yep. Everything else stayed the same. Command Z. All right. So, yep. Ah! All right. I don't know what the heck that is. That is very strange. But that should, I hope this fixes the fucking issue that I found before. Or else it's going to really be thrilling to have to still go back to that. All right. So it's not even, okay. So now this code is not exactly 100% correct, but we'll have to address that in a minute. I just want to make sure this line actually now saves correctly. So let's go back here, hit verify. Where am I doing a DD? It should say all good or catch an invalid token, but this is doing a, oh, all right. No, wait, where is it? That's my user, or that's my member. I was trying to be fancy, and that's part of the problem. Sometimes you get fancy and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna like do this first or thing. That looks really cool. And then it just blows up on you. All right, so where are we done? Where are we? Oh, that's gonna be the member factory, model factory. I think I put. Oh no, it must be in the just model factory in general. It must be in the update. Yeah, it's in the update. Okay. It's right here, which it's technically not doing the save yet. There we go. All good. Okay, so I mean, great, it worked. Now, that's gonna drive me up a freaking wall. What is first or doing? I'm not going to be able to think straight until I figure that one out. So I'm trying to think if I'm gonna go through that now. No, I don't want to. I want to finish this because that just oh, that pissed me off. All right. So first or is now working, or just first, but I gotta change some stuff in here. So now the problem in here is that it's gonna return the first right away, but if there's no, but what I needed to do is throw an error if nothing exists. So yeah. Now I gotta do this and say, okay, found is equal to if I think this will return, I think first it's null that it usually returns, so if null, so if, or it will return, it doesn't return if it's if first, because I know if get would return just a column of 0, right? So do this real quick. Let's just get the wrong user. It's Joe2 doesn't exist, so that's going to return a unable to match. Oh, okay. So it just, well, I guess it just bubbled up the first exception that it found. Okay. Right, because it's, what is first throw? Hold on, let's find that real quick. Is even a first where? Okay, no, I'm not even gonna try that. Refreshing models first. I just looked at this and said, oh, first where? Oh, wow, I should really use that. No. Now I'm not going to use it because I don't know what the hell it's going to return to me. Or actually, this is a collection, so I don't even, this is not what I want. Eloquent inserts. No, update. Nope, neither one of those. I want eloquent. Retrieving single model. Find where first or not found, first or fail. Yeah. First door, find. That's going to find a bunch of different things. Limit by 1. Yeah, I don't care about that. Okay. So first, refresh the first method. Refresh. All right. Fuck it. It's working right now. So I'm going to just do... I want to get through this. So, okay, that's going to... What, now you're going to throw me some shit? Oh. Yes, I curse at my code. I think that's only healthy. All right. Okay, so for right now, okay, so this is working. I may have to go, I'm probably gonna have to go in there and try some stuff with my trying and catching and make sure that I'm actually catching everything there, and then find out what first is gonna return me, and if it doesn't return me the right, you know, a value that I want it to, if something doesn't come back, then I'll have to fix that. But assuming for a minute everything is okay here, let me refresh this page. At Gmail, I'm making something up now. Oops, can't do that. Password 123. Oh man. Yeah, let's print. Don't save that. There we go. Unable to match token to slug. Okay, so yeah, that was because it should have actually cleared out the data. If we go back over to here, now I go back to workspace, verified, and the tokens are clear. Okay, so yes, so it did everything correctly there, and now it's unable to verify that. Hey, Kate. I'm streaming now. I'm glad you can watch. All right, so where the hell are we? I don't even know anymore. All right, got to remember the member actually, the password is correctly set. Yay. I got to clear out the email token also. That's, see, because the email token I just set by default all the time, but the main, like the owner of the site doesn't need that set. So I actually have to go into here too and say, what the hell do I got to do? I guess I could do that right here. And just null it, because it really doesn't matter at this point, because, well, I guess, yeah, in this case it really doesn't matter because the owner comes in, we set their password right here, and we just null out their token because they don't really need a token. The token is only there simply because I default set all users to have a token on creation because every other user needs a token. Okay, so that should be good. Sweet. Now I need a page that actually says more than just all good when you get here. So I guess I'll just go into view real quick and just create a hey, thanks for doing that thing. So I can show off the little bit of the view system stuff here that I do too. So all right, I'll call that congrats page, right? I think that'll make sense. So let's go into eBay workspaces. That works. And I'm gonna go here. I have a bazillion commented out things because I'm trying to remember what routes I'm gonna need to create. Route. This is just an inertia route. So, okay, Laravel has get, post, delete, and all those things. I created my own macro route that I call inertia, just when I just want to call a view, and I like basically an inertia a JavaScript view file, and I don't want to actually create like anything else in there. Like I don't need any controller code whatsoever. I just need a way of passing through to the view files. So I inertia, and let's go over to the web file real quick, and I can grab one of these and copy it. All right. So really all I do is just, it's almost the same as all the other route stuff. This is the URI string that I want it to go to. This is kind of like this thing right here. But instead of giving a class name, I just use the dots, and then I set a name for it so I can use that in Ziggy. So this is validate workspace complete, we'll call it. And what I name those things over there, validate workspace. So I'm going to say validate dot workspace dot complete. All right, so that's what this route is there, and I need to, what's the path for this going to be? So it's going to be rebase web, oh no, rebase workspace validate complete. So just think of this again as pathing. So all right, so rebase workspace validate complete goes over to where? That all up. So okay, resources, that's where your JavaScript is, JavaScript right there. Pages, this is where inertia keeps all the pages. Rebase, I'm saying here the workspace directory, the validate folder inside of there, and then this is the other one that's right there, but I'm going to create a new page called complete. So I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to call that, actually I'm going to call this validate complete, just because that's more in line with my naming conventions, validate complete. So if I go back over here, now I call it validate complete. All right, so that's the name, that's the file, and that is where it's going to go. I have to stop that for a minute. So I have to stop yarn, and then I got to run it again because it has to update the number of yarn watch. It's got to do the Ziggy generate, which I have in yarn watch. All right, so it's generated the routes for me. Now I have that complete, ready to go. I don't need any of this information here. I don't think I need any, there's no submission stuff on this page, so I can really just kill out all of this. And I'm going to just do what? I guess I'll just do an H1 for right now. And I'll put this inside of a column. All and centered. You are good now. I'll get rid of the button. I don't even need this form wrapped around that. Oops. Which means I actually don't need this div wrapped around that. So I think I can get away with just that. All right, so that works. All right, and I called it, let's get this name. Validate workspace complete. Validate workspace complete. Go back over to process, and what do I do now? Okay, so right here, I guess once this is done, well, once we made it to here, I can just do the route redirect. So route, oh, what is it? Redirect. Route. Validate workspace complete. I don't think I need any parameters. I don't need anything passed to it. I think it's just going to yell at me because I have a void up here. Yeah. I think that's it. Well, this won't work now because I've killed out all of this stuff, which is fine. You know what? The good thing to do is actually to kind of just round trip this one more time and make sure everything is working there. So let me go over here to my terminal and let's blow up everything in my database. Let's see, where am I? Homestead SSH 530. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna go into Homestead for a minute, and then I'm gonna go to Sites, Projects, Rebase, which is where my code is, and make that a little bit bigger so everyone can see it. Okay. PHP artisan db explode. I'm just gonna kill out the databases. Yes, I know. All right, databases are gone. Oh, I didn't seed it. Yeah. All right, so the seeders should still work the same way as before. There should be no issues with that. Just takes forever because it's got to spin up and create new databases. All right, so we got the databases created, got all that crap done. All right, let's go over here and go to rebase.test. So if I go to the test page, it should now take me right to the registration page saying, yep, give us a workspace. So Joe Sandflone 123. Hey, it's available. All right. Oh, that's my name. Yeah, and then Joe at sandflone.co. Address is 123 Street. Which option do I want to buy? Let's go for the $100 one. I'll use my super secret credit card. I'm going to agree to the terms. I'm going to agree to the privacy. Now we go to this, and I don't have, that's not going to run. So, all right, theoretically this is working, but I don't have Horizon going, so PHP artisan Horizon. Run this. This should now grab the events from the system. All right, processing. Processed. Awesome. Okay, so it created the database, and it fired off the email. Now I gotta find the email. That would be in Mailtrap. Should be logged in already. Yeah. So let's go. All right. There we go. Got our email. And it's Joe Sandflone 123. We can see everything there. Go there. I know it's, yes, I'm accepting the risk on my own computer. Okay. Now we can go through the process that we were going through a minute ago. And sweet, verify, don't save. And it didn't go anywhere. Why didn't it go anywhere? Validate workspace complete, because why? Let's look at validate workspace complete. Didn't go anywhere because validate complete. That's not the reason why it didn't go anywhere. Did it actually do everything it needed to do? Let's take a look at the databases real quick. So none of those databases are going to work because it's all new stuff. Let's see what it is. Shared customers. So the one I just created was this guy. Okay, so well, he's active, which means I paid. So the payment stuff worked. Yay. Let's go look at the lookup. And here's my customer ID, which becomes your database name. Workspace has been verified. No more activation tokens. That's good. The member himself has a password. Awesome. So the only thing it just didn't do was the redirect. Okay, that's fine. I screwed up the redirect, which is a lot better than I screwed up something else. So go back over to validate workspace complete. Redirect route. This is probably where I messed up. All right, so return. That's the inertia action. I don't want to do that. But have I not done any of these things? I probably haven't. Damn it, everything's returning just inertia stuff. What did I do wrong? Inertia store. Route. Maybe it's just route. No, it should be a redirect. I can never remember this stuff. Pro tip. Documentation exists. Use it. Redirect. Redirect routes. Route redirect. It's like name or something like that, right? That's the thing I'm forgetting. Redirect route. Return redirect route. Route login. Yeah, that was what I was doing. Try that again. Okay, validate workspace complete. So everything looks okay. Let's bring up the terminal real quick. Close that down for a second. I gotta zoom out because I'm ready to just want to look at all of the. I want to. Ooh boy. I want to look at all of the data. So artisan list. No, it's PHP artisan route list. I want to see them all. Oh god. Let's do that compact. PHP artisan EIS route list dash C, I think does a compact version of that. Okay. Okay, so it validate workspace complete. So it's got that. It's a closure, which is fine. I gotta look at the whole list because I can't remember the column name. All right, so this is everything. Validate workspace complete. You can see right there. I know you can't read it. I can barely read it. But it shows validate.workspace.complete. That is the name, which goes to the correct route. Okay, so that stuff's working fine. So data-wise, everything is doing what it's supposed to be doing. And this would actually throw a fit if this route didn't exist in the PHP. So if I change this name to something like this, Rebay, I think it should throw a fit for me. Well, now this isn't going to work. Yeah, now it's just like, what are you doing? Okay. Actually, here I can do and double check that it will throw fit. Want to know that it'll be mad. No, it's not getting mad. Okay. I guess because it's a closure. Okay. Now workspace complete. Did I typo it? I just want to see it redirect, and it's not. Funny. Wait, it did go here. Did I? What did I do? Validate workspace token. Validate complete. Yarn watch. Let's do that one more time. Maybe I'm just not generating the right file because God hates me. It's most likely what the actual answer is. Totally at the correct route. Not seeing the right stuff. No, it's not. It's most likely yeah. I am most likely dealing with a vengeful and spiteful deity who enjoys watching me suffer. So what the frick? Okay, so here's my validate routes. Here's the view file. Here's the one file that it should be. Or no, here's the prior file. Let's look at the route service provider. Did I just do something silly and hard code a path in? No, I did not. Okay. For a minute there, I was wondering if I hard coded a path to the page in. So really, the only thing this macro does is it gets the URI path. It takes the dot path, explodes it, changes the dots to the thing, capitalizes the words to make sure that you're using the right stuff, and then calls a route get. But maybe I am crazy. So let's look at the file path that's coming in here. Die and dump file path. Oh, that's because that's what's registered. I'm registering all the other design views and all the other views in there. So let's rebase design for a minute. So this is where I'm also using all the inertia stuff. And this all works fine because, again, spite, refresh, legal privacy. Okay. Web, that's just these guys up here. Register index. We saw that work already in the beginning, so we know that works. Rebate or reace. That was the error I did before on purpose. Rebase, work, space, validate, validate complete. So that matches here, rebase, workspace, validate, validate, complete. Name looks good. That is the right path as far as I can tell. try that one more time, actually going there and seeing again. Rebase workspace. Pages, rebase workspace, validate. VALIDATE. COMPLETE. Title is validation is complete, and the title here is not. Okay. So that leads me. This has got to be an inertia. No, can't be inertia. Yeah, at first I was just thinking this must be an inertia issue, but workspace min, maybe I'm doing something even dumber in workspace min. Yeah, workspace main. Oh, there's just a slot, just dumps in the data. Gets the and if we go up here, we can see all that seems okay. That is not that's not an issue. Yeah, I mean, the only thing here is the submit, but that's like there's literally no other HTML inside this thing. So I can just, and there's no buttons, so I can actually delete this. I can delete the whole methods stuff. I don't need the token in here, which means I don't need the props. I don't need the data. I don't even need the component, but we'll just call that for now. So it has to be then what? Could it just be the placement of this? And I really hope that's not the answer. Where is that coming from? Oh, that's in my route service provider. Oh, you son of a bitch. You son of a... why is that priority? Why is priority coming into play there? That's the question that I don't have an answer to. Oh, okay. I see why. Okay. So what the issue was there was that this is a wildcard thing for token. So I'm assuming token is going to be a UUID. This doesn't know that. It's just grabbing the token and doing something with it. So the word complete essentially just became the token. So it was passing the the word complete as the token to this thing, and then just it redirecting to the first get that it could find, which is this page. So yeah, okay, so that actually does make sense then. If I were to do it, if I just changed it to this, validate complete, I can now, well, that won't work. Yeah, I can see it still works because I can put whatever the hell I want in there and it's going to, yeah, that I'm not doing any validation on this page itself. I'm doing validation once you get like deeper into here. So yeah, that makes sense now that it would just take that and do that. So it's now, thanks, you're good now. And I can now move this. Yep. All right, cool. All right, so that was an annoying little side thing, side quest, I guess we can call it. All right, so that has now worked. I don't need any of this information here. Go away. I will need obviously the stuff for the auth later, but not now. No loot. I got the turd sandwich for loot out of that one. Do you ever go on a side quest and then get an empty container? I've done that before, and I get really pissed. That's what I just did there. I got an empty container. All right, so damn it, that's pissing me off now that worked. But okay, the only other thing I can do here real quick is I can change this to. I actually don't need this controller either in here, so I'm gonna change this to inertia. Now let's see if I break this thing. That should just be validate workspace token. All right. Boom. Okay, good. That still works. And now if I were to try to verify this, oh, here. This should fail. Token key is required for process. Good, and I can't find it, so that just breaks down everything. Which I actually kind of want. Okay, so that's actually good. All right, so it won't even pass any of that information onto the world. All right, I think I'm done with this stuff. So this is the. So all of our validation for the user now works. So now the only thing I need to do is figure out when, oh, go back over here, delete the validate workspace token. See, I don't need this route at all, or this controller. It does nothing. If it becomes something fancy, I can put it in later, but right now I don't need it. All right, so I think I'm done for now with this code, and I think I'm gonna be done for the day. The only other things I have to do in here, trying to think now. Well, no, nothing for the verification process. So now you're verified. So now it's just a matter of creating a login form so they actually can log in the first time. Let them log in and then take them to the onboarding section. So if you're verified, so that's the only other piece of this route stuff that I need to do. So once the workspace has been verified, that's the status it's in right now. Verified means it's ready to go. But you haven't been onboarded yet. So now the next step would be to get you through the onboarding process. And the onboarding process will change this from verified to active. So once you finish onboarding, you're now considered active and you could do anything you want in the system. And then that's it. So just really, but I'm not gonna do any onboarding in here. It's more of just a matter of take you to the page, and then just click a button, say, yes, I'm done. And then that's it. So log in, take you to the onboarding page, and then switch them from onboarding to no longer need onboarding or something. And then that should be it. And then this stuff is done, and then I can move on to some other more fun things, I think. So yeah, but this was fun. Thank you for watching. Thanks, Kate, for watching. Appreciate it. I will talk to you all soon again. Hopefully, if the world doesn't set itself on fire tonight, or at least America doesn't, then maybe we'll do this again tomorrow. Who knows? So have a great one, everyone. See y'all.